Annabelle let out a sigh of relief as the movers finally set down her last suitcase inside the new apartment. In her previous place, which she had rented for years, the elderly landlady, a sweet woman in her 60s, had passed away suddenly. Annabelle had been forced to move out quickly. Now she stood in the middle of a spacious apartment, waiting to meet the new owner. The landlord was a quiet man in his 40s, reserved, few words. Something about his heavy gaze made her uneasy, yet she strangely preferred it that way. No small talk, no personal questions. And the rent for such a large apartment in the city centre was unbelievably low. The only thing that bothered her was the shower. The water drained poorly, always pooling at her feet. Annabelle assumed it was a clog, but kept putting off fixing it. One evening, while showering, the problem returned. Water filled the tub, and her hair clogged the drain again. Annoyed, she removed the cover and reached in, grimacing as her fingers closed around a wet clump of hair. She pulled and pulled. The hair didn't end. Strands kept sliding out of the drain, long, slick, cold, as if being fed from somewhere deep below. Her hand filled, then her arm. Her heart pounded. These aren't my hairs. Still, she couldn't stop pulling. Finally, with a sickening slurp, an enormous mass of hair burst free, thick, heavy, and impossibly long, like it had been torn from multiple heads at once. It fell onto the floor in a dark, glistening heap. Fighting nausea, Annabelle threw it into the trash, rinsed herself off, and tried to forget it ever happened. After that, the shower drained perfectly. Time passed. The memory faded. Until one night, while showering and softly humming, she noticed movement behind the curtain. Her chest tightened. She yanked the curtain open and screamed. A figure stood in the steam. Long black hair draped over its shoulders. Exactly like the hair from the drain. Its face was still, its eyes dark and empty. It stepped toward her. Annabelle ran, slipped, and blacked out. She woke up in bed, drenched in cold sweat. The shower was still running. The water flowed smoothly. A dream. At dawn, trembling, she called the landlord. "This is Annabelle from apartment 102. Something terrible happened." He listened in silence. "Stay there, I'm coming." When the knock came, she opened the door and recoiled. The landlord stood there, wearing long black hair. "It was you," she screamed, "watching me." He shook his head slowly. "It's not a wig," he whispered. "It belonged to my daughter." He told her how his daughter had died in that very shower, tangled in her own hair. "I couldn't bury them," he said through tears. "They were a part of her." Annabelle listened, frozen. But once he left, she knew one thing. She couldn't stay. That same day, Annabelle moved out, and the nightmare stayed with her forever.